how do you even start this out? If you are lucky enough to have a craft room, it is going to get trashed. It is totally going to be unorganized chaos from time to time. And if you're looking for ways to organize your craft room or keep it organized, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming to figure out how you're going to use the space and what you're going to do. Not only that, but it can be really expensive. And today I have a craft room organization video using things that I found at Dollar Tree. Okay, so I have to start this off by saying my craft stash is pretty substantial. And I am very lucky because I have a dedicated craft room. But if I don't keep everything in its place, everything in its home, I can have a cluttered mess in just one crafting session. And one way that I have found to keep my stash under control is to keep it organized. I know that's a no-brainer, but keeping everything that you have in your craft room organized, it will help you to have a better crafting experience because you know where everything is. If you're getting ready to organize your craft room, just remember that everything has a home. And what I mean by that is there is a place for every single item that's in your craft room right now. Now let me start this off by sharing a little bit more about me with you. Not necessarily me, but my husband. My husband is a clean freak when it comes to his craft, which is cooking. I am so fortunate for that. And the one thing that I've learned from him is to clean as you go. And this doesn't just apply to cooking either. Oh no, you can totally use this concept in your craft room too. I've found that if I'm cleaning up after myself as I'm crafting, it helps to keep my craft room a lot tidier. And it also does help to have organization in mind. And yes, we are in my craft room right now. And I wanted to show you some of the organizational tips that I use in my craft room, like I'm showing you right now, using different things that I've gotten at Dollar Tree. Now, if you can see what's behind me, this is my pegboard, my giant pegboard that I keep lots of different supplies on. But you can also find pegboard and pegboard hooks at Dollar Tree. And honestly, I use these a lot. I actually have a couple of the Dollar Tree pegboards hanging up on the back of a bookshelf. And this is where I like to keep things that I can get to easily while I'm sitting at my craft table. So I have lots of different wire and twine that I keep here. And I also have a few of the Dollar Tree pegboards secured to my craft desk. And I use these to hold scissors as well as scrapers, Cricut tools, and I can also keep my larger tools close by to use while I'm crafting, like my Dremel or my heat gun. Another thing that I really like to use for organizing in my craft room are the Dollar Tree paintbrush holders. Now these things are so helpful. Not only can you use them for holding paintbrushes, but you can also use them for other things too. I have one set up that's dedicated just for my blending tools or my ink blending tools, but you could use these for markers or anything that will fit into the little spaces. This would be a really great addition to your craft room. Now this next item is something that I found at Dollar Tree probably 6 or 7 months ago. And I found it because I was watching someone else's video and they showed it to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I can find these at my Dollar Tree. And yes, I was able to find these Lazy Susans at my local Dollar Tree. The really nice thing about these acrylic Lazy Susans is there are so many different things that you can do with them. And if you can't find them at your Dollar Tree, you can find them on Amazon, but they are actually more expensive and a little bit smaller. So I did find some on Amazon. They were around $10 for a set of 2, but those Lazy Susans are only 9.5 inches and the Dollar Tree Lazy Susans are 10 inches. And these are so helpful in my craft room. So not only can you use it like a Lazy Susan, but I've actually put in some different bins into one. I have this very close by my craft desk, so this way I can reach lots of tools very quickly and easily. The edges of the Lazy Susan are also really helpful to keep littler things like my Dollar Tree clamps. I love to keep these on the side of the Lazy Susan because then I always know where they're at when I'm doing a craft. And while they have the smaller Lazy Susans, they also have the larger ones. And these are meant to be used in a bathroom, I suppose. That's how they're sold, and they are in the Dollar Plus section. They are $5 a piece. But again, this is less expensive than if I were to buy it, say, on Amazon or in a big box store. But I love to use these organizers in another craft caddy that I have because I can keep lots of different things. So I have some crafting sticks, I have some sandpaper, I've got lots of different pens and markers. I even have a tiny rolling pin that was supposed to be used as decor, but I actually use it for rolling out different clays and things. So these type of acrylic holders are so helpful for storing multiple smaller things in your craft room. Another thing that I find at Dollar Tree that I really love to include in my storage solutions are these acrylic bins. These things are so helpful. There's 3 separate compartments, so I can keep lots of smaller items together. I like to use them for tiny wood cutouts, as well as some smaller wood pieces, different embellishments that I've made, and I even use it to keep the tips for my frosting bags together. These are so helpful to keep smaller things like in a collection. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but it's behind me back in the corner. I have a couple of wire baskets that I got from Dollar Tree that I like to hang on my pegboard so I can use them for storing my pom-poms. I love making pom-poms, and having a place to collect them all is so helpful. So the little wire round bins that Dollar Tree has, not only are these great for decorating, but they're also really practical to use in your craft room. Now, something else that I like to use are these storage containers. You can find these in the automotive section at Dollar Tree. And just like the acrylic bins, they are really helpful for storing smaller pieces together. So again, you'll know where to find these things. Things like buttons and beads would be perfect to put in these plastic containers. Now, for a long time, my Dollar Tree did not have any of the plate organizers. So when I went to visit another Dollar Tree that I don't usually go to, and I found the plate organizers, I was so excited. And as you can see, the reason I was so excited is these are perfect for organizing large blanks or signs or different types of wood cutouts. I also like to use them to hold my Cricut mats together, and even a few projects that are in the process of being worked on. So if you can find these at your local Dollar Tree, I would highly encourage you to pick up a couple of these plate organizers, and they actually fit really well into my shelf so I can keep different projects and a lot of different things organized in one place. Now, if you have larger items or a collection of things that you need to store together, Dollar Tree does have a lot of the larger plastic storage totes. I did buy a couple of them. These are the $5 totes, and they do stack up on top of each other, but I find that they work really well for me for storing my rolled vinyl. I love to have different types of vinyl to work on, but I usually keep the vinyl hidden. So by putting it in this bin, then I can actually put it up on my Cricut desk and work on a project, and then when I'm finished, I can put it back where it usually lives. Remember, it's very important for everything to have a home in your craft room. Now, this isn't necessarily a organizational tool. I guess it is, but a mini vacuum. So they have these vacuums at Dollar Tree for $5. And although it's not really an organization piece, it does help me to keep my craft room tidy, and it works better and faster than the desktop mini vacuum that I used to use. And when I'm done using it, I can just hang it up on the pegboard that I have on the side of my craft desk. Now, way up above me, I don't think you can see it, but this is probably one of my most favorite, I guess, Dollar Tree craft room organization hacks, and that is to use laundry baskets to organize your flowers. I really enjoy working with flowers and greenery and different things for my crafts, but for me, the hardest thing has been trying to have a place to keep all of the different flowers that I have, keep them organized, and not invading my space. And what I found is that if you go to Dollar Tree and get the laundry baskets, they have different sizes. They have a small one, and then they have a larger one. If you turn it upside down, you can actually use the sides of the laundry basket to store your flowers. For me, this has worked out so well to keep my flowers organized, and for the most part, I know what I have and the flowers are out of the way. I think it also looks really nice in my craft room. So a lot of the organizational tips, it's not only just finding the space to keep things, it's how to store things and make the most of the space. That's why I decided to store all of my flowers on top of my bookshelves. It works really well and it looks pretty nice too. Now, when I was showing you earlier the different acrylic bins that I have to keep my tiny little things in, one way that I found to really utilize the shelf space in my bookshelf is to use the tiered racks that you can find at Dollar Tree. Now, for me, these work really well. I have seen where people say, oh, these aren't strong enough, don't use them, they're not gonna work. But the trick to this is to put the tiered racks together. So for example, on my shelf, I have 3 different tiered racks. What I did was I just put the feet of one into the other one, and that way I could customize it for the space, and it completely fills the shelf. By doing this, not only was I able to utilize the entire shelf, but it also made the tiered racks a little bit stronger. Guess that's kind of a pro tip. Another thing that I really like to use from the Dollar Tree are paper towel holders. I don't use them in the traditional way. Yes, it would work, but what I like to do is keep different rolls of tape, or anything actually that will fit onto the roll. I will put that onto the paper towel holder. If you're lucky enough to have a pegboard, you can use the hooks to hang the paper towel holder. When I'm working with a craft at my craft desk, typically I use a lot of hot glue. One thing that works really well for holding lots of glue sticks together are the small votive holders from Dollar Tree. They don't necessarily have to match, but I was lucky enough to find a couple that matched. And these work perfectly for holding the mini glue sticks or the 4-inch like little glue sticks. So I have 2 of those. And then I also have a plastic, it's almost like a cup. I think this is for a brush organizer. I found it in the makeup section, but I use this to hold my larger glue sticks. The larger glue sticks, you can use the smaller containers, but for me, finding that makeup brush container works perfectly to keep the larger glue sticks standing upright, and then it just looks nicer and tidier on my desk. Dollar Tree does have plastic bins that are $1.25. The ones that I found that I like the most have a locking top. They have different colors, but I prefer to keep all of the bins and everything in my craft room clear. That way I can see what's inside of it. But I really like the locking top bins from Dollar Tree because I can stack them up on top of each other. And I can also stack them on the larger bins that I have if I have an open space. I really like these. They hold a lot, and for $1.25 it is definitely a bargain. You can also find some really nice taller acrylic holders to hold different things together, like paintbrushes, pens, markers, things like that, or even your Cricut tools. I bought 2 of them and put them back to back and then put them on a Lazy Susan. This way I can keep all of my Cricut tools in one place if I want, and I can keep it on my Cricut desk, and it works great for holding my Cricut tools. This would work really well too if you don't have the pegboards, but I find that having the pegboards on the side of my craft desk has been a game changer. I can literally be sitting at my craft desk crafting and just reach down and grab whatever it is that I need because of those pegboards. So that's probably one of my favorite things that I found at Dollar Tree are the smaller pegboards. I think they're like 11 inches by 11 inches. I've done videos in the past where I made a frame to go around the pegboard, which was pretty cool, but I didn't use that one as much because I had it clear on the far wall in my craft room, but having the pegboards on the sides of my desk definitely has been very helpful. So even though I like all of the different organization tips that I've shared with you in this video, the pegboard is probably my favorite. Can you believe that I just shared 20 different ways that you can use Dollar Tree supplies to create organization in your craft room? That's pretty awesome, isn't it? I think you could probably do this in all areas of your home as well. But for me, I love my craft room. This is my escape. So I really like to keep it nice and tidy and have everything close by so that I can easily find the things that I need to make something pretty or just have fun. I love my craft room for having fun. And I hope that these organizational tips will help you to have fun in your craft room too. Do you use Dollar Tree things to help keep your craft room organized? Let me know in the comments section what your favorite organizational tip is using Dollar Tree things. And I'm sure you saw a few different organizational things that I have in my craft room throughout this video, which is what I want to share with you in an upcoming video. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell notification in order to choose how you're notified of when I have new videos for you. Or you can just watch one of these videos next and we'll keep working on organizing the craft room.